Hello, everybody. It's Wednesday, and um, we're supposed to have thunderstorms today. Happy getting soaked, going where I'm going, and coming back. Hey, BJ Hunting, how's it going? Good morning. I'm using my cup I got from Amanda and Puppy's Breath. Rosie. Mm, it's a huge mug. Not too bad. Um, Slept pretty good. Went, of course, to bed late, but um, I have like a billion and one things that need to get done around the house today. So it's this morning is going to be uh, doing catch up, basically washing the dishes that didn't go in the dishwasher, the pots and pans they've been piling up, and the kids are going to be tackling in the basement, tidying up there, and bringing up dishes and stuff because we have a rec room in the basement we watch movies with and shows on the TV, and we have like a card table that we kind of eat off of while we're watching shows. Kind of kill two birds with one stone, and the dishes don't always all come up after a meal. They should, but they don't always do. When did the storm hit you? We had a bad storm Monday evening. Like we heard thunder like an hour before it actually rained, like big booms of thunder that sounded like there was construction outside my window. And then it like downpoured, like torrential rain that people were supposed to, like on the highway, they pulled over on the side because they couldn't see. Like it was just that much rain coming down at once, like with their wipers. Like a friend of mine was driving, she pulled over and she took a video of the wipers, and as the wipers went down, like all she could see was kind of blurred lights in front of her. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm going on the side of the road." Yeah. Hey Google, what time is the thunderstorm supposed to hit?
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that
Okay.
yet, but I'm trying to learn.
Hey Google, when is it supposed to rain today?
It'll rain on and off in Ottawa the rest of today.
So the other day it said, "Oh, it should rain at 2 o'clock." But yeah, on and off today. Hopefully not as torrential. I mean, the grass needs it, but and the plants and stuff. That just means I don't have to uh, water my garden. But today, and I hope it doesn't rain tomorrow. Hey Google, is it going to rain tomorrow?
There's a good chance of rain in Ottawa tomorrow at 4 a.m.
At 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, that's specific. Yeah, like I'm just wondering if I'm hearing thunder already, or is that my kid waking up and upstairs? um, how are you? My garden is going okay. Certain things are going. See, I planted it late because we had a late spring. So, and most of my stuff I did from seed, and I planted seed straight into the garden. I didn't pre-plant them. I bought some plants. Um, and that my asparagus that I planted from seed in my community garden plot, they're just coming up like that. You don't harvest them, like they're perennial, so you don't harvest them the first 2 years really. The third year you're supposed to harvest them. So I figure I'll plant them and let's see how they grow. I mean, I paid, I think, $1 something for the seeds, so can't go wrong. Even if I just get like one serving of asparagus from them, it's still worth it, like a year. Because asparagus is expensive. The trees are changing now? Oh, not here. Everything's green. Hey, Amanda. Oh, I'm using the mug. It's a beautiful mug. Oh yeah, I made egg. And I also have, I made myself like a scrambled egg omelet with cheese. I forgot, I put a bit of parsley on the top. I've just been running around this morning. So, it's been just one of those mornings. I've been up since technically 6, but I didn't physically get out of bed till 7:45. Scrambled eggs, really, or omelets. Um, Abby's not a big egg. Well, she likes deviled eggs, and she likes pickled eggs. And on a very rare occasion, she might like a fried egg. Well, this is low carb if you were looking at cards. It was cheese and eggs. I didn't even put milk in it, and parsley, salt, and pepper. Well, I can't make omelets very well. So, um, I make them well for myself, but that, you know, they don't necessarily look pretty. But they taste good usually. But this morning when I got up, I was starving. It might have been because I secret tomorrow. It might have been because last night we ate really healthy and vegetarian. So I made a vegetable soup with a bunch of the veggies that were in the fridge. I put them in my Vitamix and chopped them up and put a can of tomatoes and beef broth and spices. I put some Tabasco and oh, there was garlic in there. Oh, and pesto. I had made pesto sauce from my garden the day before, so I put some pesto in there. Okay, Rowan wouldn't touch it. She didn't because she's not a soup person. Um, so she wouldn't touch it. I argued with her to have some. I also made herb garlic buns, but they didn't rise as much. Probably because I was kind of doing it quick, and I kind of didn't put a timer on, so they kind of got a little bit brown on the top, but they still tasted good. Hubby liked the soup. He was actually quite. He usually doesn't like the vegetable soup and well, soups in general, but he's like, it was actually quite tasty that he had a second bowl, and his bowls um, are like, his bowl was like almost the size of this cup, so the bowls go about here, so he had a whole 2 bowls of the vegetable soup. What? I put the thing as no notifications. Stop it. And but he didn't like the buttons. He's not a big thing on the button. But he had crackers in his. So he was quite impressed. He actually afterwards he had really low expectations because he's not a big vegetable soup person. He more likes Asian soup or potato soup or onion soup. Um, he was like, it was actually pretty good. But now I have a whole um, 9 cups plus 18 cups. about 18 cups worth of soup left. Well, I put little tiny star pasta stars in there, finished off that box of them. Rowan instead made a smoothie of fruit, and then she ate a bunch of the baby carrots. Because you have to eat some of these baby carrots, because I picked up baby carrots, I think 2 grocery hauls ago, like a month ago. Baby carrots were still fine, had them in my food saver stuff. And I told her she had to keep on eating the baby carrots. Here's a big container. It was a container about this, of the baby carrots. I said, you have to eat some of these, and she had a smoothie. I gave in, because I was like, okay, I'm done arguing with you. She's like, I'd rather starve. And I'm like, very dramatic. The only soup she likes are French onion soup. She's the only one that likes broccoli soup and potato soup. Oh, I know. And my child, who loves soup, fell asleep around 4, and I couldn't wake her up. We were having supper about 7. I played AC/DC on 100% volume in her room for over an hour, and she didn't budge. That by 10 o'clock, it somehow, I think, went through the whole AC/DC playlist, and it stopped. Or she woke up enough to tell it to stop, because at 10, when everyone was going to bed, it was stopped. But at 8, it was still going. At 9, it was still going. I'm like, okay. So she didn't eat supper last night. So this morning she's going to be hungry. So she'll probably have some soup for breakfast, because actually she loves soup for breakfast. So yesterday's meal was a bust. um, in the sense that it didn't go as planned. Like, actually, hubby liked it, so hey, he's the one that pays the bills. So as long as I make him happy, the rest of them, it's okay. Coffee, love coffee. The only thing now, so now whatever leftovers we have, Abby and I will probably be eating them at lunch. No, the kids can suffer. Well, they're not going to starve, okay? And then at lunchtime, I had put on the menu that they could make grilled cheese sandwiches, or really it was whatever they wanted. But she had opened up a can of clam chowder for Abby, and I don't know what she had, but she had something else. I'm like, okay, there's still bread here for the grilled cheese sandwiches. I thought you guys were gonna make grilled cheese sandwiches, because Rowan makes extra special grilled cheese sandwiches. Um, she puts, I think she sautés onions, and then she puts them in there with the cheese, with cheddar cheese, and diced tomatoes, and I think some hot sauce. I think. I don't know. She won't tell me the recipe, but she makes them and they're like really good. They're like gourmet grilled cheese. So I thought she would make that, but she didn't. Tonight, though, supper is going to be a big hit with everybody. It's good. I'm making the Bahamian mac and cheese. There probably will not be any leftovers. I'm going to make a salad with what vegetables I have left. It might end up being a more traditional Greek salad, because I've got more cucumbers, tomatoes, and purple and white onions, and only a bit of lettuce. But tomorrow I'm doing groceries, so I'm going to pick up a couple of things. But my list is actually really small, because I'm trying to use what's in my fridge. And then tomorrow, supper is sausages, peppers, and potatoes. That'll be a hit with hubby, and probably Rowan. Abby won't like the peppers, but she'll like the potatoes and the sausages. So I can't, keep everybody happy. But we still have lots of broccoli and cauliflower. So I might do some cauliflower or broccoli with cheese sauce for Abby and Rowan, because Jeff doesn't like that. He likes his broccoli or cauliflower raw. He's been having them in his salads the past couple of days. Yeah, he loves them in salads. So, I chop up lettuce, tomato, cucumber. I chop up the broccoli and cauliflower into little, like, more small bite-sized pieces, like it crumbles-ish. And, I shredded carrots. And then put on his favorite salad dressing. And again, he has the big bowls. And he likes a big bowl of salad. And when we put pumpkin seeds on top, which he liked. What'd you eat for breakfast this morning, Amanda? Or anybody else? Having a couple of eggs with cheese really kind of fills that hole. I'm not hangry anymore. But I was just like, I'm starving. What am I going to eat? And my brain said I wanted to eat like sugar. And I'm like, no. So if I start off on sugar, like if I had any pastries or anything like that, it's just downhill from there. I just need protein. And coffee. You always need coffee. I haven't tried the new coffee yet. This is just still the Kirkland one. I will on. I think I'll make it on Friday. Tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm doing groceries, so or I might make some tomorrow. So how has everybody been since Monday? Oh, Monday after my live stream with Angie, the girls met me and we went for Vietnamese for lunch. And then we came home and I did laundry and dishes. Okay. Amanda, do you have Facebook? Add me on Facebook. My post today, I'll show it to you. I'll go on Facebook. Well, not today, last night. It was like, I said, yeah, yesterday it felt like Friday. But it was only Tuesday. I'm like, most of my posts, I share things other people post are either funny or sarcastic. Social media weird. Yes, but if you had a Facebook account, just because you haven't been on there, you could still pop on there. Give me my marker, yes. Yeah. Why are they waking up at this time? I'm just going onto my Facebook and I'll show you the post. Because do you remember the show, the '70s show? Yes, he wants to play Connect the Dots. Oh yeah, I'll show you my other post that I posted. And vegetarian. Cows eat grass, I eat cows. Yes. Hi, Jackie, Donna. Yep, Fez, Eric. Yep. So I'm gonna show you a post from the picture from that. There we go. This is what I posted yesterday. It's only Tuesday. She's pouring rum in the blender. In her smoothie or whatever. So, like I said, saying, is it Friday yet? Because yesterday it so felt like I need Friday to come and I need to sleep in today and chill. Oh, she was the best. That was my post yesterday because I was having one of those days. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then all I can say though is that um, I'm glad that I have whatever problems I do have with my teenagers because at least I knew where my teenagers were last night. Apparently, last night out here in Canada, a little bit up in Briarwood, there was a big, huge party advertised on Snapchat and Facebook or whatever from these kids that had. So there was mostly 13 and 14-year-olds. So kids just graduated grade 8 or in grade 9 going in grade 10. So the party, they were charging like $5 a person. They had a bouncer or whatever. They rented an Airbnb and hosted a party there. And there was over 200 teenagers, not including the adults that showed up. And the cops crashed the party. Like, uh, some of the mom, it was posted on the mom's group, and then some of my friends were like, "Oh yeah, they live that way," and they saw all the cops. Yeah, so huge party. Some teenager somehow rented an Airbnb, probably with their parents' credit card or under a fake ID or whatever. Hosted a party because their parents were going to be away, so they were going to do it at their house, but then they ended up doing an Airbnb. And this kid posted on Snapchat and stuff, and then people there shared it with their friends. So there was over 200 kids and a bunch of adults that showed up from all around Canada, as well as in Richmond and Munster and whatever, and adults that showed up, coming to check out fresh meat. Lots of drunk and or high kids, and the cops busted them. Like some kids went to the party, and then it started to get sketchy at 7:30, and they left. So a couple of the moms said their kids went to the party and they left at 7:30 before it started to get bad. But somebody got stabbed. Like the bouncer got stabbed in the leg with, I don't know, a knife. And the cops came, and there was like 10 police cars and everything. Crazy. And so all these kids, like there was 200 kids like in that area, like they swarmed the Tim Hortons that they closed their doors because like these kids were coming, but the cops weren't. I'm like, why aren't the cops arresting these kids? Why aren't the cops detaining them, calling their parents? Or well, they were dealing with more of the major issues, but there was kids driving cars, obviously drunk, people drunk or stoned. Kids standing, in the car, the the roof window, the roof, standing outside the roof. I'm like, while the cops were there, I'm like, why aren't they stopping? That's what some people were saying. But so there's probably a lot of discussions last night with parents and their kids asking them where they went. But a lot of these kids that went there, like a majority of them, were 13 and 14-year-olds. So they were not even legal to drive, let alone to drink. And there was supposedly drinking and probably pot. And I'm like, seriously? When I was a kid, there was parties, right? They did them out in the bush, or bush parties, bush bashes, and stuff. Natural, right? You might be some episodes broken down in pieces out of the copyright stuff. I don't know. But yeah, crazy insane. I knew where my teenagers were. I asked because Abby was asleep, so But I asked Rowan, "Did you hear about it?" Because she's on Snapchat, right? And it's from the local. Actually, it was some kids from the grade 8 class of the local school near there, and the high schools and stuff like that. And she's like, I've heard of something, but my friends and I aren't interested or hang out with those kids." I'm like, well, that's good because it got busted by the cops, and I'm sure there's some that were like obviously drunk or whatever, that got detained and called their parents and stuff like that. And whoever did host the party, um, their parents are going to have a huge wake up call because the guy who got injured, there was ambulances and stuff because he was bleeding or whatever. Um, but I think he was even an adult that he has a bouncer. I don't know. The details are sketchy, but all you see is posting pictures from that area, Briarwood, of these kids just wandering the streets. Like there's like 30 of them, 40 of them. But it must have been really bad that the cops broke up the party by 9. Going to a party when I was young, and it was a supervised Halloween party. Yeah. Well, see, that's the same. Like my kids, if they wanted to go to this party, they've gone. They've gone. Um, my oldest has asked to go to a party. I said, "Well, who's having the party? Is it boy, girl?" And she's like, "Yeah, okay, they're friends." So before the party, I contacted the parents. I made sure that the parents knew what that you know they were invited, and there was only 10 kids or so there, right? And there was no alcohol, you know, and it was supervised, you know, and I only let my kids go to places that I can call the parents to make sure, because I know myself. I went to a couple parties as a kid, and they were never good. I had a girlfriend until I was 21. My boyfriend, but well, I went to a couple parties when I was at that age. Well, my parents were not very well informed or paid attention to me or cared. So I went to a couple parties and they went bad really fast. Well, actually, I went to one party and then I was grounded from going to that party because I came home and I had drunk, but I didn't realize I drank. I drank the punch, and the punch got spiked, and then the party just went overboard because the punch got spiked when the rugby team showed up. It's never a good idea when a whole sports team shows up at the party. There's always going to be something going on. But and what's funny is I live across the street from the high school, and yeah, sometimes there's cars parked in the parking lot or wherever they have like a little party get together. But if it gets too rowdy, I pop over there. But it's always older kids. Same boy for all of high school. He was a turd though. I didn't date until I met my husband. Cool. Yeah, I had the same boyfriend. I have a boyfriend in high school, and I got engaged to him, and then we broke up, and I started dating Jeff. So yep, same thing. So, but I'm just glad that, and there's a couple moms that responded that they knew where their kids were, or their kid went to the party and then didn't stay very long because it was going out of hand. It was not a typical high school party, and they left at like 7:30. You know it's a bad party, or you know it's going to go down bad when people leave at 7:30. So you get kicked out for connecting the dots on girls' dresses. Yeah, or she's working. You were out of high school at 16? Did you graduate or did you drop out and get a job? You graduated. Cool. What did you go to school for after you graduated? Did you go to post secondary? No, secondary school was accepted, but 1 month before I was to go to college, sent a letter. Cool. What'd you go to college for? Saying I had to have off-campus housing. Oh, why did you have to have off-campus housing? They didn't have residences. Hopefully, you got your money back. You didn't get any money. Well, did you put? But did you pay? Because you can usually get your money back, but if you drop out of the program before it starts or before, I think, the first 2 weeks or so. had grants but never used them. Okay. Yeah, they changed the system here. Like when I went to school, I didn't get any grants. I just got student loans. I didn't know you could get grants. But the way that they changed OSAP here, which OSAP is Ontario Student Application Program, or oh, whatever it is, it's the student loan program. It they set up that there's now more grants available. So when you apply for OSAP, you'll say, okay, you have so much in grants, which is grants you don't have to pay back, and then so much in loans. So depending on your income, you could have like a half or a whole, almost whole of it covered. Well, yeah, I don't know. Okay, school is so expensive in the States. Here in Canada, yes, it's expensive. But here we have college and we have university. So college is a 2 year program. Usually some of them are 3 year programs. And some of them are like 1 year condensed programs. Um, and university is usually a 4 year program, sometimes three. Hi, Jess Maria. And college is about $3,000 or $4,000 per term, maybe. And university is about 15,000, depending on what you're taking, of course. This also doesn't include residence or food or anything like that. So, yes, architects do get paid good. When I was in high school, I took architectural drafting, machine shop, regular drafting, and welding, and then I took the three sciences, and I volunteered in the spec ed class that was in my school because I had spares. I first went into college for mechanical engineering technology program, which was a 3 year program versus mechanical engineering in university, which is a 4 year program. I did 1.5 years of that, and then I switched to uh, developmental service worker, which is basically what you would need to get an EA in the school system or working with kids or adults with physical or developmental disabilities. Um, as when I went to college, I knew I either liked to work with machines or I liked to work with kids. I tried out machines, and the program. Yeah. Well, I still have upstairs the blueprint because for my grade 12 architectural drafting program, I had to do a blueprint of a projected house that I wanted to build, like my dream house or whatever. I have to look at it sometime, but I'm like, you had to do all the different windows and the sizing and all the electrical wires and all that jazz. But I just remember it was a huge undertaking because you had to follow building codes at that time. And uh, I still have it upstairs because I'm like, yeah, what I thought was a perfect house at 17 is probably completely different to what I think is a perfect house at 43. No problem, Brad, that you had to make coffee. Yeah, so this was the thing when I went into mechanical engineering technology program. This was in 93, 92, 93. I was the only girl in my program. The head of my department did not think that women should be in the program, did not like me for being a female. We were odd number in the class in the program. So for his course, the courses that he taught, it was all group projects, and he always made me be singled out as being the one doing it by myself. So I did both shares. For other classes, other teachers were better, um, but he was just and if I had to put a complaint in, he'd be the head of my department, so I couldn't even put a complaint in. Um, and you had to, for his class, you had to have a 60 to pass. I got 59.5 in his class, so I technically failed. And his class was a prerequisite for all the stuff the following term, so I couldn't even take the courses I was already signed up for the following term. That I said, okay, this is so I'd have to wait till September again because they weren't available. That course was not available the following term. I'd have to wait a whole year till September to retake that one course. And I said, screw this. You know, he was making my life miserable, and that I was in the second year of that, so I was like already halfway through. And I said, screw this, and I went and did a different program. I was like, oh, it's thundering. Hey, food forest permaculture. Hey, Howie, how's it going? It's not thundering or raining here yet, but it's supposed to. Well, we've had rain. Well, that's the thing. We're going in cycles. We need rain up north. Northern Ontario is like on fire, literally. And they need this dumping of rain. We've had rain. We had rain Monday night. We didn't have rain yesterday. We have rain today, so we're doing pretty good. I think the fire ban around here has been um, stopped, but um, up north needs it. Also, BC needs it because they're also on fire. And I hear also, I think California in the States there is on fire. Oh, excuse me. I got hiccups. We have some major fires here on Vancouver Island. Because I was gonna say, I thought the fires were in the mountains. Good, my sister Jen. I am doing pretty darn good, Howie. I can't complain. Because nobody would listen anyways. But I am using the mug that Amanda and Rosie, Puppy Breath, got me. So I've got another huge, massive mug for my collection. Yay for coffee, for sure. It's the same size as the mug Rowan got me. That's my. Or, no, it's a little bit bigger. Yeah, it's actually a bit wider because I think this could actually fit into. That's my cup from yesterday. I have to go bring that to the dishwasher. I love big cups. Then less times I have to go up and down, and they stay warmer longer because there's more coffee in it. I want you to have plenty of coffee. We were just talking about Amanda. So what's everybody doing today? Today I'm just doing dishes and laundry and basement. Because supper is fairly easy. An appointment this afternoon. Jen and everyone just. Yes. Yes, I will. Yes, I do like her channel too. I'm already supporting her. We have been at an Apple workshop on GarageBand. We're going to make sushi for dinner. Cool. Canning and telling myself that I love everyone, but I just don't like. I just don't like. True. There are some channels. So I mean, like I tend to support all the channels, and I pop in and stuff like that. And there's some channels I support more because I enjoy their content and stuff. How long until? A couple weeks. So we go near the end of the month. But don't worry, I have a couple of videos that um, I've scheduled to play while I'm gone, so you won't completely miss me. One of them is a fun video on Canadian slang, and one is a spicy chicken video with couscous stuffing. And can't remember what the other one is. Yes, the Canadians. Like I think there's something like I put 42 Canadian slangs or Canadian words that you guys might not know what they are, and I explain them. Some of them we use, some aren't really used that often. Like some of them are like places, like names for places like Hogtown and Cabbagetown, and stuff like that. If you live in those areas, you might call them that, but the rest of Canada doesn't always call them that. But yeah, like Tuke and Chesterfield and Poutine and Kerfuffle. What's there? Mickey. All those things. Like like there's some slangs for Toronto that only those in Toronto actually use. But the rest of the world, the rest of the country don't. We call it Toronto. And if you live in Toronto, you sometimes say it's Trana. And I'm like, no, it's Toronto. But they have a bit of a slang where they call it the 416 because that's their area code. And some of the slang is basically what Drake calls it too. So now it's become like hip. So everybody thinks that Toronto is the nation's capital, but no, it's only the province's capital. Ottawa, where I live, which is Canada's the suburb, is the nation's capital. We just have less people. It's a much smaller city than Toronto is. But I thought I did kind of fun video. So I think I have 3 set up. Be live after Jen. Yay! So happy to be live. Well, I will definitely pop over there and check you out. I'll put when I get off. I'll watch you while I do dishes. Usually was my grandpa's swear word that I find in Nova Scotia where Jeesley. Well, yeah. Well, there's also some of swear words that only if you were Quebecois you would use, right? As it's all um, French words for parts of the church. It's sacrilege. So like sacrament, it's the sacred hand. That you know, and that's doesn't really mean anything. But the Quebecois, the French Catholic Church, is very much strict. So when they made swear words, it was all against the church. Well, exactly. So I mean, and Quebec has its own unique things that you only find in Quebec. Same with Newfoundland. There are some things that are completely unique to Newfoundland than even to the rest of the Maritimes. Like the Maritimes, there's some things that if you're in the Maritimes, it's commonplace there, while the rest of Canada is like, what? Same if you're up north, and same with here in BC. But um, Newfoundland has some very unique um, food tastes too. Because what's funny is that over the past like 10 years, we have acquired like a lot of friends from Newfoundland. Not like we're seeking them out, but they just seem like, oh, make friends with somebody, like, oh, find out they're from Newfoundland. And like for example, my sister-in-law's fiance from Newfoundland. My best friend's fiance is from Newfoundland. Um, my daughter's best friend from early public school, both his parents were from Newfoundland. Like, just over the years, I mean, you keep on finding, and it's just, they're the nicest people, but they swear like a sailor, and in common everyday language, like, um, and like the F word is used as adjective commonly. Not with all my friends there in Newfoundland, but when a few of them. And then when they go back home, if you go to Newfoundland, you would be hearing the F word. Not even when they're angry. It's used like, oh, this is effing awesome or something, you know? And the C word for a female body part is quite common there, and it's not offensive. It's kind of like in the UK, it's also not offensive too, but they're like my friend's fiance's grandmother, okay, hear this, grandmother, calls her grandson a C when she wants to call him over, like they're down, because she's like, my friend's like, oh yeah, we're at the dinner table and grandma was in the living room and we're chatting, and she called him over by using the C word, and he came and he wasn't offended. Like, it was like, oh my goodness, it's offensive. Okay, because some of my friends from the UK, they say it's common, like they'll use the C word, um, that people here in North America tend to get extremely offended with that word, while in Britain they um, they use it, and it's like it's offensive, but it's not like extremely offensive. It's there. Well, yeah. Well, it always depends on where you live. C word? No, it's actually the it's the word I absolutely detest. That and the WH word. Um, Cookie is a good word. Yes. My friends won't use it as a general word. It would be quite a descriptive choice. Okay. But, like, yeah. So here, if you use that word talking to and it's usually in North America, if you use that word talking to a girl, it's a complete insult. It's saying that you're worse than a prostitute because um, you're not even getting paid. You know, people around here just say, "See you next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday." Yes, ha. Well, yeah, it's not. It's not a word that I will ever allow my kids to be using. My kids sometimes swear. I tell them not to. I don't want them. I don't want to hear them swearing. And also, I tell them that when they do swear, that they have to check their audience. Okay, because if people hear you swear, they're going to think negatively of you. They're going to think that you're uneducated or that you're stupid or whatever, and that because that is a way that people judge other people. It should never be a word. No, swearing is a sign. It actually that is not completely true. Swearing, the judgment is that people think that swearing is a sign of low intelligence and that you don't know about stuff. But studies have shown that people who do swear, like there's been multiple studies, people who do swear, um, not quite like swearing like a sailor, but who do swear, are actually extremely intelligent and are actually more honest than those that don't swear. Now, when my kids were smaller, I tried not swearing. I, and that, I was good at, now my kids are a bit older and they're teenagers. Unfortunately, that lid off the swearing things sometimes doesn't stay on. And some things slip out, but never the really bad ones. I don't have any kids, but I did not. I can swear like a trooper. Well, exactly. You have to tone it down. You have to judge your audience. If other people are swearing, then you know you can let away with it. But sometimes it just slips, right? What's funny is sometimes when something happens and I'm with some ladies like from church or whatever, and one of them slips a swear word or I slip a swear word, and it's like it doesn't phase them. It's like, okay, I'm with a bunch of church ladies here, and I shouldn't be swearing. Heck, even I caught my our pastor once swearing when it was talking about a bunch of the. Actually, it was we were discussing the school shootings in the states and how they're dealing with, like, this was about a year or so ago. It was really funny, like the discussion, and afterwards I'm like, he just swore. Okay, I'm not going to hell if he swore. Yes, well, see, that's what I have them to, if I catch them swearing, I not to swear and to stop. They're not allowed to swear. They're not adults. When they're adults and not living at home, then they can swear if they so choose. Yes, me too. As I've gotten older, my tongue slips a lot more. Let's say it take. I swear. Well, true. Sometimes it just slips out, and it's usually um, yeah. Like it's usually it might be the F word, but from this side of the brain, I go. What is the right side of the brain doing? Yes, yeah. We try not to swear, like and well, because it makes people's first impression of you if everything that comes out of your mouth is a swear word and stuff is never good. Well, exactly. When my kids were small, when my kids were really impressionable, when they were toddlers and stuff, I never, rarely, ever swore, at least within earshot of them. But um, now it's only the times. Actually, the times that I do is when we're crossing the street. I'm crossing with the girls, and we almost get hit by a car because they're turning left into the crossing lane where we're walking, and I swear at the freaking driver. And the window's open. I'm like, what the are you doing? We have right of way. Yeah, that's when I'm angry at the cars trying to hit us when we have the right of way. Or if somebody actually another time was with I was with Abby and stuff. We were at like a festival or Canada Day or a busy somebody an adult kept on bumping into her. I'm like, do you freaking mind? And they banged her or whatever, and they didn't apologize. And I'm like, grow up. You're like bumping into my kid. It was the mama bear instinct. Yell the F word if you scare me. Well, yes. I don't like being scared either. I went, ah! But I'm not very creative with swear words, even when I do. Well, Amanda, men are perpetual 12-year-olds. My husband says that he's a perpetual 12-year-old. They don't actually grow up. Their toys just get more expensive, and they get taller. Well, yeah, mine love mine. What drives me batty is, and my husband knows this, and he tells me this, is that what he likes to do is he likes to push my buttons. He likes to find those buttons and go, "I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you." And poke him, and until he gets a reaction out of me. I'm like, seriously, and he'll do it until like just go dee 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 dee. And that thing is, he does that with Abby too. He does that a bit with Rowan, but then Rowan just like lets it go. But Abby reacts like I do. Abby and I think this is why we get along sometimes. We don't get along, is that we're so much alike and we react the same way. That if she's pushing my nerves, I'm reacting to her, which is pissing off her, and we butt heads and it's like rah. But I was the same with my mom too. So now Rowan just like runs away. She's like, the fight or flight. She's like, gets all dramatic and takes off. Well, same with, but that's similar to what hubby does. When hubby and I argue about something, I want to keep on getting at it, and I want to keep this argument going. Well, he wants to walk away and collect his thoughts, and have and then come back. Well, I'm chasing after him, trying to get all my thoughts out, right? And he's trying to walk away and calm down so that he can come back with you know, a sensible thought. But then he comes back like half an hour, 45 minutes later with his argument, and I have completely forgotten what the fight was about. I know we fought, but I can't remember what, and I can't find my arguments anymore because I've already said them. I'm like, I thought we were done. I've sworn before, mostly when I hit my thumb or have been frightened. As a rule, my ego much as my right side of the brain. Well, yes. Well, that's the other thing. Is it's when you get hurt, when you stub a toe, or you step on a Lego or other sharp toy. It is not. It's kind of like it's your subconscious is back there, so you have to be more conscious to not swear because your body wants to swear. Oh yeah, and the thing is, I never necessarily win an argument with Jeff because he comes back with really thought out arguments. Why do you ask what size my feet are? They're about size 8. Matt, no. I have very wide feet, though. Yeah. See, Jeff has an advantage over me with arguments and stuff because he's a manager of his department, so he's taking manager training, and part of the manager training is how to get your staff, how to encourage your staff to do stuff that they don't necessarily want to do. Only problem is he uses it on me too. So he's at a disadvantage. Well, I'm like, when we argue, I'll take stuff or whatever, and then I blow up. I'm like, kind of like, I overflow. And then it's like, all out, and then I'm done. It's kind of like a volcano. Like, it doesn't take a lot to. It doesn't. It takes a lot to get me angry, but I will cool down. Hey, Metrosonic, how's it going? But that's why Jeff and I, we do well together, is that we're kind of yin and yang. But there's some things that he does that pisses me off. Yeah, yeah, I hate fighting because I never win with him. He always has a better argument, and then by the time, especially when he comes back with his argument, I've already forgotten what my argument was. Hey, teasers, pleasers, how's it going? Well, hopefully you have coffee. I slept well till about 5:30. Is there any likely a massive thunderstorm here in the U.S.? Yeah, your thunderstorm's coming up here because we're supposed to have thunderstorms and rain today, and they've been having it in southern Ontario near Toronto and that. And how my brain works, which yeah, me too. I mean that's the thing with my mom. I lived with my mom majority of my life, and as a single parent, my dad was not paying child support. He was not, or at least not necessarily even on a regular basis. And so my mom had to work two or three part-time jobs to, because we lived in the projects. We lived where the neighbors on your street were drug dealers or prostitutes or whatever. Um, gang, well, gang violence, but not. Okay, our gang violence is not like your gang violence in the States. There's not usually a lot of like gun stuff, but more of um, fights and stuff. So, um, and my mom would work multiple jobs to try and earn enough money so that we could move out of the projects because the projects were dirty, you know. Like even if we moved out of the projects and stuff, so we moved to like middle project, like lower income but not quite projects where everybody was on assistance. Like, well, this was the thing was my mom when we did live in the projects, my mom worked, right? So whenever we tried not to associate with our neighbors and stuff like that, um, because you never know. Like most of our neighbors had criminal records for whatever, and but the neighbors knew that she worked, so whenever it was payday or whatever, they always ask, "Oh, can I borrow $5 or whatever?" And she's like, "No, I need to, buy groceries or whatever." Or, "Oh, can I borrow some sugar or something like that?" So we multiple times we moved out of different projects to different ones because to still lower income areas, but not projects areas. RPM. Very cool, Metrosonic. Chose not to live in a large city. Hubby and I had 1 hour plus travel every day. Well, my husband. Well, see, we live in Ottawa. We live in the suburbs. My husband. It takes about 40 minutes to an hour to get to work. I did a few years ago, but still close. That is a lot of shootings. Yeah, here in well, even here in Ottawa, we have had. Well, how many? Hey Google, how many homicides have there been in Ottawa this year?
Sorry, I can't help with that yet.
Uh, Not so helpful. I don't even think we've hit 10 yet in the whole year. We finally got rain this past week. We had no rain or very minimal amounts of rain, like maybe an hour's worth of rain for like 7 weeks straight. That was so dry. Our grasses, everything was drying up. Yeah, 12 in Ottawa this year so far. Okay, thank you. Because I was just trying to. So that's what I was saying. We just got into the double digits. I think our most busy year. I think we had 24. But now Toronto is a completely different story. They also have like 100 times as much population as us. A friend went there, and a lot of buildings were like bulldozed. Ouch! In Misery, is that like a city? Hey Google, is there a city called Misery?
My apologies. I don't understand.
Hey Google, is there a city in the States called Misery?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Eh, that's just what we call Missouri because it sucks here. Okay, because I was gonna say, did Stephen King base good morning reviewing and playing? How's it going? Chesterfield, Missouri. Does prayer. Yeah, see, here in Canada, there's not many shootings. There's some, like, I mean, because I mean we do have guns, and you can get a gun and you get a license and stuff like that. But um, you can't get the semi-automatics. Well, I guess as easily. I don't know anything about gun laws or anything, but from what I gather, you can get a handgun and you can get a shotgun with in reason. Like you have to pass some sort of gun licensing thing. I moved a small town now, about 30 minutes from Kansas City. The duck accident. Oh gosh, that was so sad. He went there in June. What duck accident? See, we get some of your news up here, but the news that we get is usually all of the different school shootings that you guys have, and the massive major gun violence or the stuff that happens at rallies. We don't. Well, at least I also just don't watch the news. It's just the one of the cities. We go up there. We go. Yeah, what's a duck thing? Oh, I want. Okay, I want to share something with you guys. Oh, I got stuck in a storm and it capsized. Ride the ducks as a boat. Okay, yeah, so there's boat ducks. Okay, ride a boat can go on land and water. Got stuck in a storm, capsized. Duck boat road. Ride boat safe. I guess there was people in it. Like, was it on a river? Ouch. 11 of them from the same family. Ouch. Wow. That is awful. Yeah, we don't. We have like these duck boats. They're like paddle boats that they have at certain like lakes, and they look like ducks. But there's only two-person per boat. We have those duck boats here too. The Wisconsin Dells. Use them for tours in the Dells. Ouch. Hey Google, what is the duck boat accident in Missouri?
On the website nytimes.com, they say, Missouri duck boat accident kills 17, including 9 from same family. Branson, Mo. The image from Table Rock Lake that onlookers say they will never forget is the heads, one after another, bobbing in the wild, darkened water.
Ouch. Was it an open boat? That is awful. Um, there were 30 of them. Or two. If you Google duck boat, Brent. Let's get ready to bring the food from the food forest to the food bank. Very cool. Yeah. What type of food do you bring to the food bank? That is really tragic, Amanda. Last week I volunteered at the storefront of our food bank, and during most weeks I volunteer on the phones to make appointments for our locals. And we usually get donations from people's gardens and stuff. This week we had um, bonuses of cucumber and zucchini and celery and lettuces that people could choose a couple of them on top of their normal allotment of, like, our food bank. You um, you can get, depending on the size of your family, um, a dairy, of a fresh vegetable, a fresh fruit, and protein. So either frozen meat or eggs, and depending on your size of family. So I think about three, you get like two dairy or whatever, you know. But and then we get whatever bonuses from people's gardens, or sometimes certain, like last year they had a farmer said after he harvested his potatoes that to our food bank, if we could go and glean from their fields, we could have whatever potatoes we got from them versus us having to purchase them. Plums, figs, spuds, greens, and now apples, sometimes eggs and gojis. Very cool. Go and have a great. Well, bye, Brad, to you too. That's quite an assortment there. Are you going live? If so, I will put a tag in to at least give you some watch time and pop in there. I used to always donate fresh produce to 3 food banks here, but when I no longer have acre ground, going to have to go. I have to get the sushi made. Awesome. What type of sushi are you making, Jess Maria? I made salmon sushi last week. Um, actually, it was on the weekend, I think. When was it? Um, and I made it the week before. I still have a bunch of cooked sushi rice I have to use up. 2 hours. I will be, in 2 hours. You'll be like, okay. I will make sure my notifications are on, and I'll check you up around 1 o'clock. Ooh, at 1 o'clock I won't be here. I have an appointment, but hopefully you're on for a while because my appointment I should be done by 2:15, 2:30. Technically, sushi is seaweed. The raw fish. The raw fish is sashimi. So sushi is the seaweed with rice, and then sashimi is just plain raw fish. But some sushi, it's the shape of the thing. So you have the nori, which is the seaweed, on the outside, the rice and the meat, and cucumber or avocado or whatever in the middle, wrapped around. Or you could have it, I think it's nigiri, where you have the rice on the outside, the sushi, and then the meat in the middle. So it's rice. It's backwards. Well, if you do go live before, because at 1 o'clock I have to leave to walk to my appointment. Because my appointment's I think at 1:15. Yep. Sashimi. That's what I said. To me, raw fish is bait. eh, you don't have to use raw fish. You could use the fake crab meat, or you could just have egg, or you could make it vegetarian. Or you could put, like we have here at a local sushi spot. My oldest doesn't do seafood, but she likes sushi. But she likes these cowboy rolls, which is cooked beef inside there. There's cowboy rolls and beef rib rolls. So they take the beef rib meat and do it. The other one has steak. Um, and she likes these crispy hand rolls, which is basically just deep fried panko breadcrumbs, the rice in with the spicy crispy hand rolls. So it's the nori rice paper, seaweed paper, with the sushi rice with some deep fried panko breadcrumbs, just the crumbs, and the sriracha mayo squirted on it, and then they wrap it like a hand roll. And I'm like, there's no actual substance in there, Rowan. But that's one of her favorites. Well, see, the raw fish for sushi, shouldn't smell like fish. If you can smell the fishiness of it, then the raw fish is not fresh. And you should definitely not be eating it raw. That's where it's like if it's just starting to smell like fish, you definitely have to cook it. If it really smells like fish, um, it's gone bad. Herring, so pickled herring. I like pickled herring too. of pests and worms by the vinegar in it. True, true. Well, that's why, like, the things in raw meat. That's why you have to, if you're gonna eat it if you're gonna eat it raw, you have to eat it fresh. You can't eat it if it's been a while because bacteria and stuff will grow on anything, whether it's cooked or not. Um, yeah, California rolls has a fake crab meat. I've never, I've never made pickled herring. I've eaten it, and I like kippers. Canned herring, if it's canned, then it isn't. Yeah, well, if it's in jars, if it's pickled herrings, they're usually in jars, and it's pickled with vinegars and spices. So they take the raw fish and put it into jars with vinegar and spices. But the vinegar cures it. It's kind of like if you ever have, oh, my brain went, oh, when you have raw fish cooked with lemon juice. What are you doing today? Reviewing, playing, and more RPMs. You take care too. Are you producing any videos today, RPM? Congrats on getting 1,500 subscribers. I seem to be stuck at just under 1,100. I keep on fluctuating up and down, up and down. I keep on losing about 10, and I gain about 10, and I lose about 10. Yeah, RPM, you're in Ottawa as well. I think you're by. Are you in Stittsville? I grew up in southwestern deserts. I lived by the adage, if you don't see or smell no she. Very cool, RPM. Well, yes, it's called eating what's local. It's always better to eat wherever you go what's local and what's traditional in that area because you know it's going to be fresh and you know that it's going to be cooked well. When you go to a place like Japan or something like that, you eat the Japanese food. You don't go there to go and try and have a burger. Have a computer for sale if you need one. Cool. Do you have do you have your own computer selling business, or do you work for a computer company? I do not know if any you out there, because lately I'm getting some notifications, but not all computers. My hubby used to do that too, but lately We just have we have a computer graveyard down in the basement of all the parts. Yeah, he we don't need a computer right now. Lately, we've been moving away from. Well, we still have the desktops, but actually, he just upgraded my daughter's laptop with a newer battery. I think it was. I can't remember. I'm not the techie person. that's that's why he keeps it. He does his thing. The Christian Academy goes back. Yeah, school doesn't go back here until I think next week or the week after the French board goes back, and then the rest of the schools don't go back until after Labor Day on the 4th. Back on the 6th. Yeah, college and university don't really start until after Labor Day either, but they go back the week or two end of August. They have like Frosh Week, where it's not classes, where everybody in your program gets together. So second and third years gather the first years and show them the ropes and have a barbecue, or you know do fun get to know you activities like icebreakers. Yeah, start after Labor Day here. 99% of the time. Once every like 8 years, the way that the calendar works, they have started before Labor Day, like the end of August, because Labor Day just happened to be on like the 7th or 8th. Is that you can go to a restaurant at the ocean in California overlooking the beach at Orefish, but it may have flown in from Alaska. I mean, true. So RPG, do you um sorry RPM? Do you work in the computer industry as well? Or do you just have your own um, business? Um, they go back to school after Labor Day. So September, what, 4th, 5th? No, work full time, off this week, just making them awesome. Yes, it's always good to have skills, especially in this day and age of technology, that you being able to fix computers and stuff um, is always better than paying somebody to fix them. A friend of mine brought her computer to like Best Buy to get fixed, and they wanted to charge $120 just for a diagnostic test, and then once it was diagnosed, they wanted to charge a couple of $100 to uh, possibly to retrieve the data on it. But they couldn't give any guarantees. And I'm like, okay, that's like $300-400 just to not be guaranteed anything. That's why I have hubby. Hubby's my tech support. he he wants to take my laptop here. So we got this laptop through, I think, Tiger Direct or whatever, a refurbished laptop a couple last year. I think we paid like 200 for it. Didn't realize it didn't have a camera, but um, it's a Dell Latitude. It's not a bad computer. We put up on it Windows 10, but we put it to with a program to make it look like regular Windows, because I don't like the new Windows 10 look. So it looks just like regular um, Windows. There's a program, I can't remember what it's called. Hubby put it on there to make it look like regular Windows. But two from Tiger Direct for the kids a few years ago, but they had to redo everything to get rid of the bloatware. Yeah, hubby went and reformatted it. That's kind of, well, he's like you. He's old school techie, right? I mean, he had his own BBS back in the day when he was 11. He sold his first like computer program when he was 11. He's been working and fixing computers and networking and programming and stuff uh, since he was a teenager. Even before he went to college. Like when he went to college, he only showed up to do the exams. He didn't actually show up for class because he had already been working for years in the field without his paperwork because he had the skills. So he went to school to get the paperwork. And now he's been with the government for the past 18 years. Well, you might know he was the sysop of a TLOTC, the land of the cult. He was Lord Jeff. He's in the Ottawa area too, just in Stittsville, a little bit further west. When you could just rebuild your PCs like 20 years. Yeah, so hubby fixes his computers and that, and fixes his parents' computers. But now, now that things are much smaller and stuff, sometimes it's not worth fixing some of them. Well, well, it's not even that we're a throwaway society. It's that the computers themselves, the parts to fix them are sometimes as much as getting a whole. Yes, autocorrect. His first name is stupid. So our computers are built not to be able to upgrade without skills. Very true. That's why my husband still likes his big desktop computers, because he puts in like terabyte hard drives. And oh, sorry about that, Mike. So Stittsville is another West End suburb of Ottawa, Ontario. So it goes Ottawa, and then on the west there's Nepean, and then there's Canada, and then there's Stittsville, and then we're out of Ottawa. There's the townships of Dunrobin and Carleton Place, and Munster and Richmond, because they've amalgamated. So he's probably about a 10-minute drive from my house, because I could, like, if I drove, I could drive pretty much anywhere from my house to anywhere in Stittsville in about 10 minutes. But my bus would take me half an hour. To cut down on all the tedious of typing, I sometimes speak into the microphone. I do that too, and then if I don't enunciate very well, um, it says things I didn't mean to type. Yeah, but used to live at Canada 5 years ago. Well, Ottawa is a big city, but it still has a small city feel on Furlong. Where's Furlong? Hey Google, how far away is Furlong from where I live?
My apologies. I don't understand.
Okay, Briarwood. So near where all the party was happening last night. I used to live off Dobbin Lane, off Stonehaven up there. One of the places I used to live off Beaverbrook Lane in the Beaverbrook area. These are different times with my dad, and then I've lived here, which is by Holy Trinity wave pool. So yeah, Briarwood's a nice area. Mosquitoes so bad I moved because of it. Well, they built Bridalwood by the swamp area. A few years ago on Facebook, I was typing in the word perpetrator, and I even spelled correctly. Cool. Well, in Canada North, so Canada is divided by the highway in the middle. So there's Canada North and Canada South. Canada North residents, they were so bad because they have the little lakes and stuff like that around there and the mosquitoes that the residents voted to pay money for mosquito spraying. So they get charged on their taxes an extra $30 a year to pay for mosquitoes. The Canada South residents did not want that. Send by the correct. Change it to purple trader. Oh, that's funny, Donna. You can't win, eh? There was a small pond in the back, and you could see a black cloud that was mosquitoes. Oh, that's awful. Yeah, my backyard's not too bad, but well, see, I have cedar hedges in my backyard, and mosquitoes love cedars. But yeah, we don't have any standing water near us. But yeah, mosquitoes are bad. But it's been too hot, really, to be outside, anyways. A lot. So, but Stittsville's not much better because there's still all the swampland that's over there too. Woods line is same here, but also live. Could I even barbecue? Ouch! Yuck! I made a meme that says fireflies. When the mosquitoes start looking for you with flashlights, it's time to go inside. Yeah, but yeah, we've had bad mosquitoes. Not this year, not too bad. I think because well, we had that heat, the heat wave, it killed any freestanding water. Last year was bad because we have all that rain. Well, that's good. That's way better. Well, and Briarwood is a pain in the butt to get out of in a car because there's like one way in, like the main, all the roads connect to like one feeder road, one way in and one way out of that area. So it gets major traffic. Told me next year I'm screening in my porch so I can enjoy evenings outside. Hate being mosquitoes. Well, exactly. Mosquitoes and me, I'm like dessert for them. My daughter Rowan and I, they always bite us. They don't bite Jeff or Abby hardly ever. Like they might get 2 mosquito bites all year, while we look like we had chicken pox. Just finished doing a new screen on the patio door because other I hate. Well, exactly. We've had a bad thing with flies. Whenever my kids keep on coming in and out, there's always like, because we have cedar hedges, they keep on coming in and then getting rid of the stupid things. He does not have time right now to do it because he's getting ready to do the hunting. You have to tell him, Canada. That's because I'm so sweet. No, it's I don't know. It's not raining yet. Our neighbors across the street had their French porch screened in the summer. It looks beautiful now. I don't know if they actually sit out there more than they used to yet. Well, yeah. Well, then you've extended your living space by 10 by 10 or however big your patio is. So you have a little bit more room to live in the summer months or the months that are not freezing. Nice thing is the landlord finally paved street you live on this summer. Cool. Was it gravel before? I used to always go with him to. Oh, to go hunting with him? Yes. Well, uh, maybe if we somehow fall into a bunch of money, we would re- uh, renovate the backyard and make it more um, usable and have a porch, and a screened-in porch would definitely be useful. Um, well, I would love to have a hot tub, but to get a hot tub in my backyard, they would have to use a crane to go over our house. Because to get to my backyard, I have to go in through my neighbor's yard to get to my backyard. Because we're in a townhouse. I've been on here for 2 hours, and somebody did try and call me, but they left a message. So I should go check them out. It might be a doctor's appointment. Yay. For me or one of the kids. I'm like, I hate when they don't make the appointment when we go there. I like them to give me the appointment right away so I can put in my calendar. They're like, oh no, we'll contact you in a couple of months. It's like, okay. Well, you have a great day. I'm going to be doing some videos. I'm going to be making double chocolate zucchini bread today or tomorrow. Today or Friday. Same with banana bread. I'll either make them as bread or muffins because I have bananas that are extremely ripe and I have zucchini that we have to eat up. And the only way my family will actually eat it willingly is with double chocolate. Hubby will eat zucchini. I will eat zucchini. My kids don't, but they do eat it because I put it in sauces. But I know I have my Amish haul video. Ooh, I love those Amish haul videos. I love seeing what you guys get in them. Recently got what wasn't chocolate and just wasn't the same. Oh yeah, you have to put double. You have to use cocoa, and then you have to use chocolate chips because the two in the muffin or the bread and the moisture from the zucchini, magical. It's on the recipe. I believe is on my Pinterest, or I just Google it on Pinterest. Do they? Sometimes I tell them there's zucchini in it before they eat it. I usually tell them afterwards though. Our street only paved with underlayment. Then every year dozens and dozens of potholes. Yes, we have lots of potholes here. Parents to the store while they were visiting us in the summer. Woohoo! Smooth and beautiful and black. Asphalt. Yes, our street that we currently live on has a whole bunch of different potholes that by my neighbor's 2 doors down. When it rains, there's a big huge puddle there that goes out 6 to 8 feet from the curb. So when cars go by, it splashes like a big huge like tsunami wave. And it's nowhere near the drain. Like the drain is 2 houses that way. Well, it just sits there. Where my end of my driveway, the water drains at least to the to the drain. But have a great day. I'm going to do some videos, and those should be up in the hopefully next couple weeks, because I'm not really quick on the whole editing of them. So have a great day. Bye.